welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher. So let's jump right into it. We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and welcome back to another video. Today we're here for Cop or Drop. I'm pretty sure this is episode number 11. We skipped last week to do an unboxing, but we're back this week with two books that I think one you should be buying and one you should definitely be dropping in this market. But before we get into the video, like always, guys, I'm going to ask you, if you are not a current subscriber of the channel, do me a favor and go ahead and click the subscribe button for me. It does help the channel out. I want you to smash that like button as well because it helps the algorithm out. And of course, turn on notifications because it lets you guys know when I post new videos. One other announcement, guys, I am posting more books for sale on my website, mightycollects.com. Do me a favor, go ahead and check it out. A lot of great stuff behind me that's going to be getting listed for sale. So like I said, we're here for Cop or Drop. Again, I've said this before, guys, there's a lot of books out there right now that are falling in this market. We're getting quite a bit of correction. But a lot of the big books out there, the books I'd be buying, a lot of the big books out there, the books I'd probably be adding to my collection while you can. Again, I speak from a long-term perspective because I don't collect books usually for short-term periods. I collect them for, hey, I'm going to hold on to these books for a really long time. But with that said, we're going to start this week with the Cop for the week. The Cop for this week is none other than Amazing Spider-Man number 300, the first appearance of Venom. So I think this is like threefold of why I want to buy this book right now. One, because it's pulled in a little bit, right? That's the first main thing. But two, how popular is Venom, right? Venom is one of the most popular characters out there right now in the Spider-Man universe and all of Marvel totally. He's got his own book right now. He's got, first appearances back in 1988. So why am I buying this book? Well, I don't know if you guys heard the news, but Kevin Feige has now been announced as a co-producer on the Spider-Man Sony projects, right? I think after Morbius, how bad that movie did, they probably went over to Kevin Feige and said, hey, you know what? We need help with these movies. We're going to let you use some of these characters probably in future Marvel movies. Come and be a producer on this movie and movies and tell us what we're doing wrong, right? So that's another factor. That is a huge factor in my opinion, that Spider-Man and the Spider-Man villains, the characters, will be in a better hands now that Kevin Feige is helping Sony out. Now, with that said, he may try to crash these movies, who knows, so they can get the character Spider-Man back. I do not think that is the case, but regardless, I think this is a win for everything Spider-Man related. The one other thing I wanted to mention, of course, if anybody saw Spider-Man No Way Home, at the end of that movie, a part of Tom Hardy's Venom came apart, what got left in the MCU, so that is another factor as well. Tom Hardy has stated he thinks Venom 3 is going to be his last Venom movie, so I'm not sure if we're going to get a new Venom after that in the MCU. Venom's going to disappear for a while, but I do think we're going to get some side of surprise that nobody is expecting. I really think that's the way it's going to go down. So Amazing Spider-Man 300. This is the only Venom book I want to buy, okay? And I only want to buy this book in a 9.2 or higher. There are a ton of copies out there of this book. So the higher the grade is where you want to be at. 9.2 or higher, I have a 9.2 in my collection. We're going to start, though, with a 9.4. And that's what really we're going to start going over the numbers. Because I think with the numbers that are pertain to the books being falling right now, you can kind of see the drop that we're getting and why we should be picking up this book. So again, we're going to start 2020 average. The 9.4 was $585 on 249 sales. That's how many copies of this book are out there. The 2021 average was $1,216, so definitely more than a double. This book really popped over that 1 year period. The 12-month rolling average is $1,153. The 90-day average is $1,053, so a drop of $100. And now the last sale all the way down to $911 this month, June of 2022. This book dropped another $100 in the 9.4 grade. Finally now under $1,000. I'd be picking up this book right now. I do think Venom is going nowhere. An extremely popular character with Kevin Feige going over and helping Sony out. And with Venom going to be in the MCU, you know he's going to happen because Marvel and the MCU does not like to leave loose ends. So that Venom symbiote that went over in this movie is going to attach attach himself to Peter Parker at some point, and then eventually we are going to get Venom. So that is my cop for this week, guys. Again, a monster key. Just a key you kind of got to be careful with because there are so many copies. Again, stick to the higher grades and you will not be disappointed. So now for the drop of the week. So this was a tough one for me, as I stated to you guys. It's finding harder and harder for me to find books that I do not want to buy or to sell that I have in my collection. So I'm going to go with anything that's Black Panther related right now. And you guys are going to probably say, why? Obviously, the movie's coming out, Wakanda Forever. We kind of don't know what's going to happen. There are rumors out there that Shuri's going to become the new Black Panther. Could be M'Baku. I'm hearing there's supposed to be some kind of tournament to decide who the new Black Panther will be. And with that said, guys, nobody, whoever it is that's going to take on this mantle, is going to compare to T'Challa or to Chadwick Boseman, what he did with this character. I think that Marvel is doing the right thing as not recasting that role. So that tells me one thing. Because everybody is attached to that character, T'Challa and to Chadwick, I don't want to see any of these characters become the new Black Panther. That's the way I see it. I don't see any of the Black Panthers being long-term solutions in the MCU, and that's why I'm selling these books. So I picked out 2 books, and there are probably more out there that I'd be selling right now. The first one we're going to start is Avengers number 62. Avengers number 62 is the first appearance of M'Baku. So this book has been all over the Hot 10 list over the past, year or so, ever since we got the announcement that, Black Panther 2 was going to go forward with the new Black Panther. And I used an 8.0 because I think the grade point average and the price value for this book is where, we want to look at. So the 8.0, the 2020 average for this one was $108. That's it, on only 9 sales. Let's see how unpopular this book was back in 2020. The 2021 average jumped all the way to $430. We're talking about a quadrupling just in a year's time on only 7 sales. So still not a popular book. The 12-month rolling average jumped to $477, and the 90-day average averaged out at $411. The last sale, however, June of this year, $425. So it's holding its value right now, but I was shocked to see at this grade point average how much of a jump it took from 2020 till now. To me, whether M'Baku becomes the next Black Panther or not, I'm hearing rumors of a possible M'Baku Disney Plus show. I have no idea if that's true or not. I want to be unloading this book right now. I don't know if it can sustain this high price range. $400 is a lot of money to spend for that character. And is that character going to replace T'Challa in the MCU going forward for the long term? Will people want to watch something like that? I have no idea, and the uncertainty of this makes me want to sell this book. So this is one of my drops for this week, but I'm going to give you another book as well that people are talking about. It is Black Panther number 1, the first appearance of Shuri as the new Black Panther, and I'm going to take that book at a 9.8. Now, this is really difficult to me for find this book on GPA, but the numbers I got for this one, really I wanted to use a 9.8 because if you are going to go out and buy this book, it's got to be a 9.8, but again, for the numbers I'm seeing, I'm staying the hell away from this one. The 2020 average for this book was $325 and a 9.8 grade on 21 sales, not too bad. The 2021 average was $563. The 12-month rolling average was $606. The 90-day average now is down to $536, and the last sale, June of this year, down to $530. Again, people are speculating that Shuri is going to be the one to take over the Black Panther role. Again, that's great. Do I want to be invested in this book for the long term? No way. I'm going to use all the same, things I just said before. T'Challa, to me, is the Black Panther in the MCU. I think going forward, they're going to play this story out, kind of let it take its course, but then that will be it. I don't know. You may get a few cameos here and there, but I don't think the Black Panther going forward is going to be a major character, unfortunately, because of Chadwick Boseman's death. I think if he was still around, you could take this character and keep riding it, get the 3 movies and keep him going in the Avengers because he did such an awesome job and he's a beloved character. So the last thing I want to mention before I finish this video is Fantastic Four number 52, the first appearance of T'Challa as a Black Panther. Now, if you're going to own a Black Panther book, it is going to be this book. But I sold my copy maybe about 6 months ago. Again, I think this is a great long-term hold if you want to keep it forever. I do think it will go up in value, but all the short-term pops we're going to get because of the Black Panther movies, anything regarding Black Panther, I don't think it's going to affect this book at all. And when Black Panther, ceases to exist in the MCU and we're not hearing about this character, a lot. Is this book going to come back in? That's why I sold my copy. That, it wasn't going to be in my collection forever. I've had a couple of copies over my lifetime, so I made a decision to kind of bail on that book. I'm not sure if it's going down in price or if it's going up in price. This is for you guys to determine about your own collection and how you are going to collect. But to me, if you're going to own a Black Panther book, it's going to be FF number 52. But for me, I thought it was a prudent time to sell with, of course, T'Challa no longer with us. So with that said, guys, this is Copper Drop episode 11. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I really put a lot of thought into these books on what I'd be buying right now and what I'd be staying away from. Let me know in the comments what you think of my picks, if you agree with me, if you disagree, if I'm full of crap, whatever you guys want. And of course, do me a favor, if you're looking for some big keys, check out mightycollects.com. With that said, this is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.